Whoa! Whoa!
I'm boning. Welcome to Recall to Base, a show where we recall and talk about all things Riftbound. I'm Samuel.
I'm Nathan, and this week we're talking about our thoughts on Spirit Forge as a whole now that the set's ended, and what we're going to be playing on Unleashed.
Yay!
So Spirit Forge, finally over.
Yeah.
Finally over. Make it sound like it's a bad thing.
It was. It's just like I don't know. It's old news. It becomes so old news so quickly. I remember when the set was coming out, I was so hyped about mid-range MF and like all the cool ways I was gonna build it. And then 2 weeks into playing it, I was like, okay, next set, please.
I feel bad for Magic players because of that full price. Because like the fact that we get sets every 2 months?
Yeah.
No, it's 3 months because
months.
because the tournaments are 12 weeks. That's right, I remember it. So the fact that we have 3 months and then it's like I feel so bad for Magic players because they get like a set every month or 2 months, right?
Month and a half.
Yeah, something like that. Crazy, but yeah, no.
You feel bad or you like jealous?
I feel
It's a bit of both.
I feel bad because I actually prefer this wave release. I don't know about you, but I prefer the fact that we get like less amount of sets, but not less amount. Yeah, it is less amount of sets, but like it gives the set more time to breathe. And
do you know what it actually is as well?
What?
It's the fact that we don't have dud sets. It's unlike in Magic. In Magic, you could have the shittiest, like, I do not care about this, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Best set
and
in
then
Magic, by the way.
At least you're only stuck with it for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
If Riftbound ever has a missed set and we have to wait 3 chungus months for the next set, long day.
It'll be like Hearthstone. Because do you know that was a thing where there was like one deck that was like the best deck in the meta, and then that deck did not get changed for a full year, and nothing was as close to it.
I thought Hearthstone, because it was online, they like did a lot of nerfs and stuff, and like
back in the day they did it. It took a whole year for a card to get nerfed. But anyway,
fair enough.
But anyway, I think it gives us the set. Like I remember we talked about it previously in the past of the idea of what's it called? What's what I'm looking for? Oh yeah, the meta like being able to like answer the threat and having time to develop and evolve. Adapting. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
And I think it did.
Yes, it did. I mean, like we saw like so many new iterations after the bans, but more importantly, we saw iterations before the bans. But we should just go over quickly like thoughts of Spirit Forge as a whole. So just to cover up, I think Spirit Forge was designed with main set as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think they confirmed that. So Spirit Forge felt a lot like a mechanics set. Like we saw a lot of things like gold and movement tech stuff like that. That like kind of laid down
equipment was the big thing.
Equipment, yeah, and also like it would just like lay down the foundation of the core rules because we didn't see. Am I not mistaken that besides gold, we saw no new mechanics besides that. No, that is it, right? Because we had the equipment, yeah. Because everything else was within the rules, right? Because like Ezreal was like I'm just thinking of Legends. Repeat as well. That's it. Yeah, what an unplayable key.
It's good.
I mean, like I feel like repeatable is only good on certain spells.
The spell needs to be good.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So it wasn't too groundbreaking of a set, like in terms of new stuff. Whereas like Unleash is like half that set. It's all new stuff. Let's be honest, right?
And I think Spirit Forge did switch up the game significantly, mostly because set 1 was such a like solved set, and having Spirit Forge bring in multiple tier 1 contender decks, especially towards the start pre-ban, that was really cool. What Spirit Forge also did, if we recall, to base, is that it brought in the first like giga terrible bannable strategy, which was Miracle. And that was cursed.
No, wait, can we... Oh my god, wait. Can we rate a set to be good if Miracle was a thing? Can we even rate it that high? Oh, come on.
I mean, they fixed it. They fixed it. They were like, okay, guys, this thing is too cringe. Let's ban these cards.
Yeah, like, fair play that they answered it, but can we rate a set that highly? Just on the sole factor that, like, Miracle was able to exist for a bit? Like that
and even then, it wasn't...
No, it was bad. It was bad.
I was about to.
You do not understand. Like when we were at locals, the dread on our faces when we heard Miracle.
No, I remember I was playing Darius, and I was like, "This is gonna be the week I 3-0 with Darius. I'm gonna be so cool. I'm gonna 3-0 with this like rogue ass deck." And then across from me sits a Draven player, already dreadful. Yeah, as a Darius player, you never want to see Draven. So I'm already like, okay, I'm losing.
Yeah.
And then he starts playing cold shots and scrap heaps. And I'm like, no! Needless to say, I didn't 3-0 that week.
No, you know what's actually crazy to think about? I didn't go against a single Miracle deck once.
I went against like 2. 3.
Yeah, you went through all of them. Like, I saw 2 Dravens, both not Miracle. And then I missed all the Miracle decks. Everything wasn't Miracle.
I ended up playing against a lot of Ezreal Miracles.
Yeah.
Which is just Ezreal. And for me, that was good because Darius preyed on non-Draven Miracle decks. It's just that Draven was a bit too chud.
What was the other Miracle? Oh, Sivir and...
Sivir and Jinx and...
Jinx wasn't a real Miracle deck, let's be honest.
No, it was it needed to be Miracle. That was the only way you played Jinx.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but like compared to Ezreal, like Draven, it's like exactly.
Sivir as well.
Sivir, yeah, exactly.
And then
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, and then Miracle died, thank God, and with it died Sivir, unlucky, and Jinx to a certain extent, also unlucky. And then what that did was it brought to the tier 1, which was already a really good deck before. It just couldn't really compete with Miracle as hard as like other Miracle strategies. But fucking Irelia.
Because I think we could bring up as a point is that like I didn't like actually quick before I get to my point, should we just go over like should we just like count down 3, 2, 1 out of 10 how we fought a Spirit Forged?
Okay.
Okay. Have you got a number in mind? Because I've got a number in mind.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 7.
6.
6!
7!
Guys, I'm going home. I can't play this shit, bro. Nah.
It's because
6 is mad, by the way. That's like above average, by the way. You gave Spirit Forge an above average set.
It's just above average. It's because I can't give it below 5 because it
yeah, 5 is too harsh.
Because 5 is like, it was okay. It's like fine. Like I could take it or leave it. But because it fixed how shit Origins was, for the record, I was not playing at the end of Origins. I was like, this game
you
is
gave
not
up.
for me.
You gave up on Origins really quick. This is before I knew you properly as well.
Yeah. And then Spirit Forge came out, and then there was like 3 or 4 different decks I wanted to play. And that was, my interest in the game got renewed. And then also, like, it completely fixed the meta, so now we have more than 3 decks that you can actually play. So that was cool. And then, yeah, so just for that, I have to give it at least a 6. But then I think about the decks that are actually playable and are actually, like, seeing success. And they're still kind of oppressive. They're still kind of cringe. Plus, Miracle is kind of unforgivable. And, like, even though I'm playing it now and my hatred for it has gone down just because the deck is fun, the fact that Draven exists as a card and that they refuse to ban it, even though they acknowledge the fact that it was a complete design mistake,
They can't.
It pissed me off.
Nah, they can't ban it. They
can though. There's already 2 other fucking legends you can play instead. You can play Annie, which is already a top tier deck, and you can play Jinx.
You cannot. I feel I am gonna counter argue, and I feel like you need to feel for the fact that you can't just ban a deck completely. That like you just can't ban.
You did though. They banned Miracle. Sivir ceased to exist. All the Sivir players needed to play a different deck. Ezreal as well. I mean, Ezreal was still bad,
but what you're saying is that it's okay to ban a archetype of a deck, which I think is correct. Like Miracle had to go, but you cannot just ban a legend completely.
Think about it like this: who do you think would have an easier time making a swap? A Sivir player who suddenly has to make a whole new deck because Miracle is banned and they don't have good cards. You can't play mid-range Sivir; you'll just be bad. So you need to make a completely different deck. Or a Draven player who's playing mid-range Draven, and now they just need to pick up Annie champion, and the deck is the exact same.
No. I think you can't just because there is also that whole like player like the game feel side of it is like imagine you pull a Draven now you just can't play that.
You do though. You pull the red Draven in packs. I mean,
but you can't
anyway,
let's say Draven outside of like very specific decks that all the cards for it are just unplayable. Spinning Axe gets removed from the game. Spinning Axe gets removed. All the champion units basically cease to exist.
I was playing red Draven on Darius.
Yeah, but do you see my point? Is that removing a deck, even if the deck is toxic in the meta, there's far more consequences. I do agree with you that I think the Miracle stuff needs to get banned, but you can't. I personally cannot justify just banning an entire deck. Banning a whole entire legend just does not work. It just doesn't, bro.
I think it does.
No,
Like,
because,
like,
like-
spinning axe, who's gonna miss it anyway? It's just
But
an
then like,
equipment with quick
but then
draw.
at the same time
It's
as
like,
well,
who cares?
but at the same time as well though, like if you look at like competitive play, a high level play, like Draven is fine, bro. Like
It's fine, but it's never ceasing to be tier 1. It's never gonna leave tier 1. Like in Spirit
Yeah, but
Forge,
then every game,
the
but
cards
then,
got banned.
like-
Wait, hold on. The cards got banned. It's still tier 1. Unleashed came out. A lot of tournament results are happening. It's still looking like it's staying tier 1.
Yeah, that's
So it's like, and no, you're not even thinking about the fact that there's game warping, like design warping mechanics that need to not exist because of Draven. Like any sort of rebuke is kind of just like gone. They need to make sure that winning combat strategies aren't as oppressive, or that other strategies that are based around winning combat can be good, like green hold, for example. And it's like,
true, but like, what's it called?
like we can't have fight or flight. I mean, there was other problems with fight or flight, but we can't have fight or flight now.
Yeah, but that's fine. I think like cards, like your argument of certain cards can't be designed, like they can be designed. They just have to make them way weaker, which is fine. Like Isolate, the new version of Fireflight at non-action speed, is a fair card. Like Fireflight is not fair, and I understand your point of like certain cards can't be like fully designed because look, like because Draven's too strong. But then like I don't think that should stop the game. I think that just creates more interesting elements. Like looking at the meta after the bans. Like Draven obviously stayed tier 1, but then we saw like new tools like Annie get really popular and actually won a tournament. It won Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it won Vegas. We saw Irelia like take the win. Azir, a matchup that looks really favored towards Draven.
It also looks pretty fair towards Miracle now that
Yeah.
I think about it. It was already doing pretty good in the Miracle days.
Yeah, and that's like my point. The point I wanted to bring up is that yes, toxic decks were created, but what's it called? But the meta and the players have the ability to adjust and reform to it. Like Draven, like you're playing Draven now, which is cursed.
Yeah.
But we as players can adjust and learn from it. Like we can, I think nearly all, except for like a specific legends, most decks have the ability to adjust towards the meta.
And that's and that's why I think, to me, Spirit Forge is like a 6. Because it was still good. It was like, I'm like the Japanese, bro. When I go from 0 to 10, 10 needs to be like the best thing ever. Like receiving a BJ on meth, you know?
Yeah.
10 needs to be like a mind warping experience. So nothing is ever going to get a 10 in Riftbound, let's be honest.
No, I think it can.
But like 5 just means that it was fine. And so the 6 is still a very still positive.
Yeah.
It's just that I think that the sets didn't innovate too much. Like the best cards in the game are still Origins cards, but it did bring a lot of cool stuff that I enjoy. Like
Yeah.
I like Ferris Forerunner. That card is arguably too good, but it's fun. And
Yeah.
it brought in a lot of tools. It's just that I think my main problem with it was that the top tier decks are just kind of like annoying.
No, I will admit that's why I gave it a 7, because I think the new tools and the new things like made a lot more decks a bit more open. Like let's be honest, right? Like set 1, like Origins was basically just 3 decks and that's it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But then Spiritforge came out, and then a few more decks came out. Like some of the new stuff came out, like Azir.
Yep.
Or like what's it called? The new Irelia, stuff like that. So like the meta opened up a little bit. With Unleashed, for example, it's looking like even more open with even more even more decks becoming.
The
meta
Unleashed meta is unless we solve it really quick, but
We're gonna go
according to Chinese tournaments, that's not.
We're gonna go over
yeah.
it, but my point stands is that I personally think that the good of the fact that the set opened up, Spiritforge gave a lot of new tools and a lot of new tech that makes for really interesting decks. Like there's a lot of like not game warping cards, but cards that help a lot of colors out. Like what's a good example was what's the green move a draw card?
That's his call. No.
Stellacorn.
Stellacorn.
Stellacorn was a good card. Like I'm just
not so fast.
Not so fast. Lost Rights. Lost Rights was a card that like doesn't see a lot of play, but like
Death Grasp.
Death Grip or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was we got a lot of tools.
I think, but I will agree with you on the fact that I think the top tier decks was still a little bit too like niche in terms of like there's only a handful of them. We did everything else was basically considered garbage, which that might say something about me as a player or as a play group.
I think actually we got more good decks than bad decks.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. In Spirit Forge, the only what I quote I would consider bad decks that like you will most likely lose, like out of the new ones is
Rumble,
Ornn, and Lucian.
Now Lucian is still, it's not winning any tournaments, but it's still
but no, that's my point. Is that like
9% win rate? It's
Yeah.
still not terrible.
that's not the worst, but it's like out of the legends we got, I think that's like they're the like 3 worst. Unless I'm missing something that I completely forgot.
You are missing something.
Jax. Before the
we also got a nerf to Jax. That was crazy.
And
then it wasn't that good.
Yeah, which leads me to my point of that. I think
Sivir now as well.
Yeah, I think the fact that the bans, like the fact that we had to have a ban is a bad thing regardless, right? Let's not like beat around the bush. It was healthy for the game, but like we lost a lot of cards, and I think like the fact that it like nerfed a bunch of decks, like
non-zero number of players who quit the game after the bans.
Yeah, like the fact that like certain legends like became not unplayable, but got a lot worse.
Yeah,
like. I mean, it might just be a case of like in the meta they just didn't work. Like certain decks read really well, but like certain cards and certain decks read really well, but the meta just doesn't call for it, right? Like what's it called? If for example, if Magic Christmas, like in your Magical Christmas Land, if Draven got banned, then I just like the argument I always make when you ever bring that up in the past was just but okay, then Irelia just sweeps the meta. Irelia just sweeps the entire meta, and then like what else do we do? Like there's no, you could play Ezreal, you could play Annie, but then like more people, there's just more Irelias in the world. Like look at. When I was at
we could talk about this because I actually think that because Irelia has such a weird matchup into blue-yellow control, which is like a new archetype thing, Spirit Forge, that's cool.
Unleashed.
Unleashed, sorry.
Yeah.
No, Spirit Forge. Because it's not an Unleashed archetype. No one's playing blue-yellow control.
In what?
In Unleashed. I'm saying in Spirit Forge.
No, in Unleashed there is.
Who?
Daphneal, you donk.
Well, it's not control. That's
yes,
mid-range.
it is.
That's mid-range. That's the most mid-range thing ever.
No, because the whole point of the deck is I get this Riptide Rex and I kill it every turn. And I control your board. I stop your board from moving.
Okay, we can argue about specifics anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saying that Irelia's matchup against Thingy is against Yellow specifically. It's so weird, and we could see that in locals as well. Like
because Victor became really popular after the bans,
and then Irelia didn't. There wasn't that many top Irelia players. The meta would have adapted. It's just that now it's a bit weird. And according to Irelia players, Draven is like one of their hardest matchups.
Yeah,
which it is.
It is because they just have really consistent cards that like the fact that his signature spell contests Irelia signature is really important.
But I still think that Draven's worst matchup is Irelia, and everything else is fine.
It's a matchup where it's like is it the type of matchup where it's bad, but you both have specific answers for each other, if that makes sense.
I'll give you the straight sauce. Viewers, watch out. Draven against Irelia matchup comes down to who draws Rebuke the most. That's it.
True, yeah.
That is it. And do they have not so fast when you draw yours, if you're Draven? That's
very true. And then, but yeah, no, I think that to me, that just incentivizes my point more. But like, your deck has answers for each other, but they're very specific. But man, I think Spirit Forge was like overall nice. Like
I think it was nice. It wasn't the best, but it was nice.
I will say that it's very healthy. Like one thing I will give players, especially our local scene, is a lot of players were willing to try non-niche stuff outside of like the regionals and stuff like that because everyone's.
You mean non-meta
decks?
Non-meta, yeah,
exactly.
No, for sure. Our locals, we're very blessed where our locals are a lot of players trying to be like the best at something, and a lot of players are just like, hey, I got this legend, I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah,
which is very cool. We do have like a few meta slavers, but they're like at some point they were just like, you know what, Ezreal is not even that good anymore, but I built it. I'll just keep playing.
Yeah, but I think that's like a testament to why like. A testament to the fact that this game has that whole side of it of people are willing and are trying to make their specific decks good.
Yeah.
Like unlike One Piece and stuff like other games I see where like their specific
the deck is bad, so we just keep it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they don't try it.
They don't try it. Like the fact that Riftbound is willing to try, and I don't know if it's specifically because. It's probably because of the fact that unlike One Piece where they make archetype specific cards, like a card have to be like, oh, it has to be a Straw Hat member.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, it's like archetype based, but like in Riftbound it's so open ended that you could try a lot of different things. Like the fact that like it's actually kind of crazy to think about, like the fact that every deck you can have like up to 2 variants of it. Right?
I actually can't wait for when we get a Riftbound set that's like Legion, not Legion, like.
Alternate color.
No, I'm saying like a region from the game specific. Like I want to build a deck that's Bilgewater centered. It's like Gangplank Bilgewater. Like he
Yeah.
says, your Bilgewater units have ganking or something like that. That would be so cool.
But then that counteracts my point. But I think I can see your point.
There's we don't have archetype specific stuff, which is a good thing, I guess. But when we do get archetype specific stuff, I will enjoy it as long as within reason. As long as it's not broken Yu-Gi-Oh stuff like tutor for a Bilgewater card, put it in your hand.
No, they're not gonna do that purely because of the fact. I don't think they're gonna do that because of the fact that they'd have to like re-tag everything in the past.
Not really. They've been pretty good at tagging stuff. There hasn't been any like every card comes with the region it's from, and it then comes with its like creature type.
Oh yeah, true. But like not all of them have creature types.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them just have regions.
But I think like personally what I think they'll do, and I think they'll lean towards the like the LOR, and we've seen it in the other sets that got revealed, is that it's just gonna be thematic based. Like Vendetta, I'm really excited for Vendetta actually because of the fact that it's built around the whole like the rivalry thing.
I like that a lot.
Like with like Merlin and Bessa and Renekton and
Shen versus Zed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's pretty
like
cool.
the whole point is like it's rivalries, and I think that's what they're gonna go towards. Like instead of
Seraphine versus Evelyn.
Whoa! Yeah. Or no, but that's Radiance. That's like the set after. But like it'd be cool to like, for example, I would love to see like if they do like game. Like, you know, like how they did the Ruination?
Yeah.
Or like the Ruined King event. I'd love to see like a set like that where it's like built around like a whole story archetype or something like that.
Oh, I think we're still a bit ways from
we're ways away from that. But like, that's how I see it. Because I don't think they're going to introduce tags. Because I think that tag stuff just makes it all like...
We already have a card in Unleashed that cares about tags.
Yeah, well,
the kill list or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then, and also Ivan.
And Ivern.
Yeah, Ivan.
Oh yeah, tribal decks. I mean, we had a tribal deck. It was Mechs with Rumble. That show flops.
Ivan is also not looking too hot.
Yeah.
Especially with the FAQ like ruining every Ivan stream. Did you see that?
Yeah, they can't unbush. Which, to be fair,
they can't bush a
mechanic anyway.
Yeah,
they were gonna fix that no matter what. I think anyone who would cope and say that no, they intended for this is like dumb. Anyway, so let's compare our experiences with Spiritforge locals and just like playing for fun versus tournament play and the top of the meta.
So like I have the unique experience where I went from competitive play and then pivoted towards more for fun.
Yeah.
And then my more for fun stuff did better than my competitive play stuff. And I think that probably like leans into like a big difference between you and me, which is I usually don't play the meta. I usually just play what I find fun and make that the meta for me.
To be fair, I'm the same. Like I was playing Darius and Misfortune, fucking not Aurora, mid-range Misfortune. I was in the kitchen, and it's like I just enjoy playing off meta, and I enjoy figuring out different strategies. The only thing that made me switch to Draven is that I want to win an Unleashed box.
Yeah, no, but then like that's the thing is that like
qualifying for that top 8 changed the man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. What my point is that like I think you are willing to adjust to the meta to compete, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not willing to compete.
Sure, yeah.
Like I'm not willing. Like if I really wanted to go top 8, which like again like saying that out loud makes me realize I don't care. But if I was going to go for top 8, I would probably play Aurelia. I'd probably like pivot decks, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pivot like go from like Annie to Lux and then Lux to Teemo. Like do you see what I mean?
But I want to ask, say you were like me. What happened to me was I was just playing the decks I wanted. Some of them were doing good,
and then the meta.
No, and then I like just from virtue of me showing up every week and going positive most of the time, I ended up in top 8. And then I was like, okay, so I want to stay in top 8 and I want to like be able to compete in this event, which I probably would anyway. So I might as well start playing a deck that actually has a chance at doing well in the event. If you yourself were like looking like 3 weeks ago, were looking like you were going to be in top 8, would you have switched?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't have switched. No, there was no, because like again, like I'm not personally. I don't like. I don't know how other way to word it besides I just don't really care about playing like a deck. Like I don't really care to like, oh, I'm playing this deck competitively. I like the aspect of I'm playing a deck that I know I like and I have some attachment to it. Like that's why like I'm in that ultimatum of like Vex next set where like Vex I really enjoy her as a character, but then at the same time she's also looking ridiculously competitive.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, so now I do care. But that's my point, is that like I will only care about being top if my deck or something that I like is top, right? Like I wouldn't have. There was no like because I was on Lux at the time when I was top 8, and then I was losing really badly because the meta shifted towards like Victor and stuff. I would not have switched to Victor, and I wouldn't have switched to like Draven or like.
You were thinking about switching to Victor for a second.
I was like for the like what's it called for a little bit, but then like acquiring the cards was just way too much, and then like I also think the idea is at the time when I was starting to lose was like a month away from Unleashed.
Yeah, and at that point you're like already like, oh, Vex is gonna come out.
Yeah, that's
Screw this Chungus set.
well, yeah, no, but not like there's that. There's that aspect, but there's also the aspect of like I'm gonna buy a bunch of cards for a meta that's gonna change in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna play like Victor looks.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only reason why I switched to Draven is because I already had most of the cards, and the
Yeah.
only card I literally needed to get was Spinning Axe. Luckily,
Yeah.
I'm in a friend group where they have Kai'Sas, and I can borrow their Kai'Sas. That's
Yeah.
it. That's like the only reason.
But I think then like that solidifies my point of from my perspective of that I'm not willing to full pivot or full switch unless it's convenient and it's something I care about.
Yeah.
But then again, I would say though if I had access to all the cards like I did at one point because of Annie.
Yeah.
Like I was only spinning axes away from Draven. If let's be honest, I would not have played that deck. There was no way I was going to play Draven.
Yeah.
What about you? What about yourself?
I mean, I'm the same. I would have, unless I was not trying to win. Like, if I wasn't gonna have a chance to be in the tournament and I wasn't gonna win anything, I wouldn't have played Draven. But then I started playing Draven and I realized, holy shit, this deck is actually really fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I make my
Guys,
opponents
he's
really
turned.
miserable.
He's turned.
No, listen, I
the podcast is ruined.
I still think Draven as a legend needs to not exist.
Yeah.
But it's not my fault that the deck is fun to play.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And when you're playing it against other meta strategies, it's like, oh, so we're both like really competitive in this game, and it's like we both have a real shot at winning, and the game is really, really interesting, and every decision matters a lot.
So you like that whole?
I like having agency, and I like that my decisions deeply impact the game.
Yeah.
Unless I'm against like Lucian, and then I could just like fling my cardboards at him, and I win.
You don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like that aspect of Riftbound. Like it reminds me of other TCGs that I played where it's like. Every game, unless like the matchup is so skewed, every matchup does matter, and then you do have to think about. But I do get your point of when you're playing against high competitive decks. There's like
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
There's like that. I don't want to say like sweatiness, but like
It is a bit.
It's a little bit, but it's like more the fact that like there's like we don't have to think about the fact that like I'm playing the Chud cards or something like that. We could just play the real. We're both playing real cards. There's nothing else. It's just us the players. Let's see if my decisions beat your decisions, right?
And we'll see how much that evolves as Riftbound gets more sets.
Yeah.
And the top cards float to the top a bit too much.
A question I want to ask.
It's fine.
The question I want to ask you quickly is: do you think that now that you had the experience of being a top player now in our locals
at least.
in our locals, do you think that's like something that you're gonna try to bring with you next set?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the legend I want to play is Pike, and that is red purple, so it's going to be top tier.
Pike is going to be good. I think Pike's
going to be good anyway. Even if the list is very unsolved, and there's not a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
I want to crack it, and I know that the strategy, no matter what the fuck I do, as long as
it's going to do well.
It's going to do well. Exactly.
It's not like, but you're like, I think it seems like
I'm kind of like you in that sense.
No,
though, because it's like you're playing a deck that is a card that you like, a character that you like, and it just so happens that it's competitive. I'm the same.
Yeah, but then like I think like you're skewed a tiny bit towards that competitive side because of your experience of top 8.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I just like playing against people who are good. It's why I like CDH so much. And like my experience with CDH was like I was playing casually for a while, and then it's like casual CDH. I know.
No, it's not. I'm just realizing as you're making your point, I realized. You could tell who's the competitive player, who's the casual player. Yeah. Because I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah. And it's like, I was playing like semi-casually, going to locals, and then I started getting my ass beat, and I was like, okay, hold on, let me lock in for a bit. Started winning a bit more in locals, and then people were like, hey, want to go to a tournament? I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then I top 16 a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, I'm really close to top 4ing.
I'm really good at this game.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's just, winning is fun. What do you want me to tell you, man?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I'm saying is I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but like the fact, like you are skewed towards being a bit more of a competitive player.
I mean, yeah, and it happened in CDH as well. Like I was playing Rocco, which is like nicho weirdo deck that is like, oh,
And
I
then-
play turbo and I win sometimes.
Yeah, and then now
And now I'm on Rock Thrust, which is a tier 1 deck.
yeah, but
Because I don't know, I just gel with the deck a lot.
But like again, like what's it called? I think what I was gonna say is that we're on the same path, but in the inverse way.
Yeah.
It's in the sense that I went towards like I choose a deck no matter what, and it's competitive. You're on the route of I'm playing competitive, but oh look, one character I like can be, so I'm going to pivot towards that.
Yeah.
So then we're in the same lane of we're playing decks that we both visually like or personally like, but it's also competitive, right? So that's what I'm saying is that like we're the same, but we're in the inverse, which is a really cool thing to think about.
Last thoughts on our locals experience is I fucking love our locals.
Yeah,
our players are
great,
so sick. We got one tricks, we got meta players, we got really good players who go to tournaments.
For
we
anyone
got really
who's in
shit
London
players.
and wants to see our local scene, we play at Mythic Goblin. I'm not saying this like to
Not sponsored yet.
not sponsored or anything like that, but like they are out of all the stores I've gone to, they're my favorite.
Yeah, they're awesome, and the player, and it's mostly just the players that are really.
The players are really good. Yeah, we have like a very like healthy-ish scene that's willing to adjust. And
our scene is extremely healthy in the sense where there's one, a lot of variety in the meta. Two, everyone is like really friendly and like everyone like no matter who you play against on what level of
except that one guy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to carry.
And like in every like if you go to table 17, you're gonna have just as good a time if you go to tables 1. And it's like, and also people like bring new stuff and they try new stuff. Like the Orin player, shout out Beardy. The Orin player always like he's tried like 3 or 4 different versions of.
Oh yeah,
Orin.
wait, is he the guy that plays the skill shot, Israel? He was playing the skill shot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so sick.
So funny.
And like we have Sam, who's like probably the number 1 Fiora player in London, and he's just like he tried everything there is to try in Fiora. He's just like
his list looks mad.
I have not beat that guy once.
Me neither.
And then there's like that one player, I keep forgetting his name, but he's like he top 8'd Bologna. I haven't played against him once actually, but like he's really cool.
I played against him once as well. But no, I was gonna say is that like to lead up to this point. There was that I would say there was one guy, I think you remember this story. Like I can't name names, but there was one guy apparently who got so mad at his round 3 opponent. They were 1-1 each. He got his opponent to submit the scores, but then as he was doing it, he got up, walked to the Storman, said I went 2-1, took his packs and left.
No, that was on Origins.
Really?
That was in Origins. It was my round 1 opponent. I made a pack deal with him. We were gonna tie it. It was like, hey, listen, you take the win. I'll just give me a pack when you like win. Then he ended up going 3-0, but his round 3 opponent, he didn't actually wait for him to submit. He submitted the scores wrong himself. He lost, and then he submitted that he won. Took the packs and dipped.
Oh, I didn't realize that bit. Oh my god.
He got banned from the store, and I actually helped that guy because he was new. I helped him like sort stuff out with the manager with the store. I was like, hey, this guy got scammed. He actually won. I was there. I watched it. Give him the packs.
Oh, and he hasn't been back since, or has he been back?
No, he was actually the Leona player. The guy, no, as in the guy who got scammed. He was the Leona player, but the guy who scammed him, he never came back.
Yeah, well, of course not.
Yeah, but that was the one thing. But even then, the store is friendly and fixed the problem.
But please come to Mythic. If any, I was saying this at pre-Rift at for Unleashed. Which, by the way, we should talk about our pre-Rift experience before.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But last thoughts. Tournament experience. I think it's fun watching Riftbound tournaments.
Yeah.
There's the coverage always goes to the spicy decks, but let's be honest, there's like 1,500 meta players.
Yeah. But no, I think, but
it's fun watching coverage when they're doing the spicy decks. Like I watched an Orin versus Lucian game, that was fun.
Yeah, that.
But like even watching the top tables, it's clear that the legend itself matters less than becoming a master of whatever you're playing.
Your deck, yeah.
Like LNZQ playing Azrael, he top 8'd again. He's really like sick. Prismaticism being the best Annie player by a mile. Like you were saying, Annie is a competitive deck. I think it's just Prismaticism. He's just like good. I think the next best Annie player was like only 10 wins or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't confirm,
but like it would. But like like mastering a deck is like a big.
The guy who won with Azir as well. It's like you mastering the deck matters more than playing meta, which I think is really cool. I mean, obviously you need to be playing a deck that can win. You can't just master Rumble and be like, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, you need to actually look at the meta and actually like adjust your deck accordingly towards it.
And you need to be very locked in and know what cards you're playing.
That's why, like for example, example I know is like people start to take Flash now. They weren't on it any before, but now they are because of unchecked power being so prevalent.
Yeah,
it's bet free.
It's set 3.
Yeah, but no, I think that's fun. I think that's a very healthy like. I don't know. I don't know too much about competitive scenes outside of Riftbound because this is my first time I've actually taken notice and looked into it. But I feel like this is a pretty healthy competitive scene in terms of locals and at like events and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty healthy. Like the percentages aren't like super duper skewed. Like not that badly anyway.
I think the main reason why I was so harsh on Spirit Forge is because I didn't build any Spirit Forge legends.
Yeah, no, that's
none of the Spirit
yeah.
Forge decks look that cool to me. Except
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Draven.
yeah. But that's like I think that's fine though. I think that's like there's nothing wrong with like it's pretty bad for a second set that none of the legends like was like
Yeah.
enticing for us. But it's interesting the fact that like Unleashed comes out now. There's actually now a big enough pool that we can try something out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Cool. So that's our thoughts on Unleashed.
Oh,
Cool.
Spirit Forge.
Spirit Forge. Sorry.
Wow.
Now
Bad
our,
podcast.
now
Bad
our
podcast.
thoughts are Unleashed.
Yeah, we went.
We did the pre-release.
We did pre-riv. How did you do? I can't remember your score.
I
now.
did terrible. I went 1 and 2.
You went 1-2.
So here's what happened. I'm not a chud at limited. I know what happened.
No, he is a child limited.
No, the thing is, I opened not Annie. Vi. I opened Vi.
He's actually a child because he can't remember the cards.
I opened Vi. Vi is already like not that competitive because there's a lot of answers to pure aggro. So I ended up switching to a legend that I opened, which was Rengar. Rengar I think is fine. He's got better aggro tools than Vi. But then I didn't open that many of the top commons. I was just kind of forced to play like whatever was decent. I got 3 Infernos, that was fun, but I didn't draw that many of them. And then I didn't open any bombs. That was the biggest thing. The best card that I opened for limited was Orange Rengar. Orange Kha'Zix. Specifically not Orange Rengar. I would have put that shit in Champions when it won 3-0.
Yeah.
Specifically Orange Kha'Zix. And that card, 1, is not very good. 2, I didn't draw it at all.
Yeah.
And then 3, like, I just played against people who did have bombs. I played against a Baron. That was not fun.
Yeah.
I almost beat it, too. I came, like, 2 might away from beating it. Didn't happen, though.
This is funny because Savvy, for context, for like a long time, like privately, he's been telling me that Baron's not that good. It's easy to beat. It's really funny that you think.
Yeah, well, it's.
You can't beat.
I was close to beating it. It was just
Yeah,
that my deck was just really weak.
Yeah.
And that's just what happens sometimes in limited. Sometimes in sealed specifically, you don't have that much of a choice on how good your deck is going to be. It just depends on what you open.
Yeah, see, I had a funny experience. I went 3-0 and I went 3-0, which went really good. My deck wasn't that good, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put like I ended up having to play Kha'Zix with but I got what's funny is my big bomb was I got both Master Yi's, which were like insane and limited. Like both of them were ridiculous.
Yeah. Master Yi, I was right. It is really strong. Most people ended up playing Master Yi, which is crazy how many people open a Master Yi.
Yeah.
But like
I was on Orange Master Yi as chosen champion, and then, like everything on my deck was basically kind of inconsistent, but the only thing it was except for one thing, which was XP. I remember my final game, I got to 18 XP as Kha'Zix, and I was doing the Kha'Zix effect every turn.
Good lord. And another really cool thing with XP is that you got a really cool card called Conscription.
Oh yeah.
That's a card I missed. That is a really good bomb. 5 mana with you have enough XP, take a creature. That is insane.
Yeah, I ended up using it like an isolate in my 2 games. I mean, there was one funny game where I won by I conspired his Green Master Yi, which had 2 equipments on it. So then he lost that, and then I ganked over, and then I won from there. It was just a mono Green Master Yi deck, which was like I get why he chose to do it. He was 3 color, but he had only green runes for Green Master Yi. But he opened Orange Master Yi, which was like kind of a misplay on his part. But anyway,
yeah. The best card I actually opened in my pre-rift wasn't actually Kha'Zix. It was Red Jhin. I put Red Jhin in my champion zone. That was really good. That was the only thing that made me win because I had like ganking plus the equipment that gives +4, and it was like 8 mites swing at both battlefields.
I had a very funny interaction because it happened twice where my opponent would play both my opponents were 3 color, and they would play Clash of the Titans at 6 runes, and then I'd go, okay, abandon. So I'd cancel the Clash of the Titans, but because they're obviously 3 color, 2 orange runes off the top is very rare. So most of the time
abandon was just hard counter.
Abandon is a hard counter, but like they have the chance to play it later, but it just didn't do anything. To be fair, my final game was the most stressful though, because I was against someone was playing Master Yi champion unit with LeBlanc legend, and I was like, oh no.
Ooh.
He's just gonna loan the Master Yi, get the 2 XP, then gank over. Which is what I thought he was gonna be doing. But he got like stuck on units, and then he did the Clash of Titans thing, and then I abandoned it, and I was like, I win.
Yeah, I didn't. I wish I'd opened a bit better. Like I also didn't open any alt arts. Didn't open any stuff. It was kind of a chud pre-release.
I ended up,
Rift.
you know what's funny? I traded that Green Master Thief for a Nami on the day.
Okay.
I was like, I don't care. I literally,
But-
I know the guy. I can't remember his name, but I know the guy, and he's really nice. He's really nice.
But I was able to obtain some really cool cards. I got
Yeah.
Old Heart Purple Pike, which is just my favorite looking card in the game, which is
Yeah,
really cool.
He's probably the best alt art, probably.
And I got Red Pike. I was able to get a Pike Legend.
You got Red Rengar too.
But we did this thing where afterwards the store said, "Hey, we got a few more pre-Rift kits than we needed. If you guys want, since you're like the last people in the store, you can buy one. And then only one per player though." And I was like, "Hey, I don't want to buy one. Can I sell it to this person for like the cost of a pack?" So they give me a pack. They can buy my thing. One of them said yes. From that one pack, I got the Alt Art Red Rengar, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that was a funny interaction.
Yeah. I had a cursed one. My one, basically, the store owner, Luke, shout out Luke, absolute gem.
Legend.
He opened a couple of packs and he got a overnumbered Vex legend.
Show the
So
camera.
I was able to buy it on like release, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
and
very
then-
good for you.
Yeah, very, very good. And I actually pulled a Kaiser in the locals last week. So I was able to just give him a Kaiser for this, which is like 80, which is like going around for 80. And then I was able to get,
Why do I never open a Kaiser? This man's opened like
I've opened 2 now.
crazy.
But it was the OR one too, which is like, ugh. But anyway, I was able to get most of my deck. The big one I didn't get though was Shadow, which I'm looking for today. But Shadows, that's whatever. But main one, the coolest pickup actually, I was able to buy someone's Alt Art Vialmore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was he
that was
opened
a
it and I
insane
just
pickup.
I like just went, bro, no stress if not, but you're gonna sell it. And he goes, yeah. I said, I'll buy it right now. And he sold it to me. He sold it to me like not the cheapest, but he sold me like the average price. It's kind of like the current price, which is like fair fucking.
Another thing that I'm kind of sad about is that we didn't see that many there wasn't that many signature spells, or the people who opened them, they just kind of dipped after, because
Yeah.
I wanted to get a Pike signatures. I wanted to get like more
the-
Pike cards, and just,
Yeah.
like people just dipped. People did not want to fuck
Well,
around
like
and trade.
a big thing about that was their epics too.
Yeah.
Like epics, and then like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like nearly all the signatures, most of their decks are playing like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like,
Kha'Zix
that's-
is on 3.
Like Diana, you have to keep it like
Diana's on 3.
Diana's
LeBlanc
on-
is on 3.
Pike.
Pike is on 2 or 3.
Yeah. Shadow Vex's one is on 2 most
Yeah.
decks. Yeah, and it's just like they're just because of the rare slot. That's a big thing, but
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you need to print highly playable cards at higher rarities.
yeah.
That's how it
But anyway,
survives.
we should talk about a little bit about like our thoughts on the meta now that we've played a few games as well as looked at the cards.
Yeah.
I'm unironically really really excited for this set. Purely because I think the meta, like the Chinese meta, is going to look really open just because of the plethora of options we have now.
There's so many options.
Yeah, I think there's still going to be, obviously, the 3 legends from this set that everyone's going to be playing, like Vex and LeBlanc and Pike.
It could also be fun
Diana.
for us to look at some more of the results in China. That could be fun.
No, we've done that already, bro. We've done,
Okay.
like,
But that's part of the meta.
but my point stands that, like, from our perspective, it looks like there's a lot new tools in the terms of the fact that everyone's going to be playing something new now.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really fun for the game.
I agree, and it's like every one of our friends. There's only like 2 or 3 of us who are playing the same legend. Everyone else is like picking different
Yeah.
stuff, which is really cool.
But I think that's the thing that's actually really like intrigued me is a lot of people's excitement isn't actually playing the new stuff, the new legends. It's actually playing their old legends with the new tools.
Like my video on that topic exactly is doing very well. Fiora and Set
Look really good,
look
yeah.
really good just because of Sacrifice.
Sacrifice looks really good in that
Sacrifice seems broken in those decks.
Specifically set. Sacrifice and set. is not-
Master Yi from
Origin. In Origins.
the Origins Master Yi from
Origins Master
Proving
Yi.
Grounds. There
Yeah.
you go. That is looking really good, especially because of Orange Rengar. Because like your opponent moves in with a unit, the game is like completely different because now you have to be like, am I gonna get Orange Rengar for 8 mites? Oh no! And like the people are picking up a lot on that on China as well.
Yeah. Like, I think that's, like, again, like, what I was hinting at beforehand is that Spirit Forged, like, had a bunch of meta decks, but then had like, what's it called? Had, like, a few old decks come out of the blue. Where
Yeah.
Unleashed now that now there's 3 sets worth of cards, we now can just start like removing the filler and adding the cool new tech as well as the like more efficient rate version of cards.
Yeah,
And
and there's like a lot of strategies now. There's control, there's
Mid-range.
aggro, there's
Mid-range,
mid-range,
yeah.
there's Aurora ramp, there's other ramp. You don't have to be on Aurora. There's so much stuff.
I want to actually hear your opinion quickly on Aurora. Like, is Aurora looking like
It
a
looks
real
real.
deck?
It looks
like a real
really good. Aurora is finally, because now before the problem with Aurora is that you'd get your big mana play, but it didn't insta win the game, and you still have to.
But
play
in
it
Elder
again.
Dragon now, it's
But
like,
now with Elder Dragon, it does win the game.
yeah,
It's
Elder
like-
Dragon just wins the game on the spot now.
There's counterplay. Like some decks have an easier time playing against Elder than others.
Yeah, if you're not so fast, you counter it. But then also you could position your units in a specific way.
I still think people are sleeping on Volibear. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Or Purple Aurora is still really good, and you get a lot of
You get a lot of
consistency
interaction.
tools. You
Yeah.
get a lot of a lot of like Mind Splitters is a really important card. I see people are very much still on Mind Splitter.
Yeah.
But my problem with that is that one, your deck is way slower. It's very bad at contesting stuff, and it's like contesting battlefields early, and it's also very ride or die on Aurora. If you don't draw Aurora, if you like opponent removes it with like against green, there's that 3 mana 1 power guy that just like ETB kill a gear. That's such a like broken card against Aurora. And it's like, you kind of just default to not having it. But if you're playing Volibear, you just play big dragons and you just play big units and you don't care. Because they
Yeah.
trigger thingy and they ramp you. And they, like, you're gonna have runes anyway. Like, you can play, you can
Yeah.
hard cast Elder for fuck's sake. You don't need Aurora on that deck. It's like the only deck in the game that consistently hard casts Elder.
You know what's funny is that I actually played against shout out Sam and Algo who's playing Poppy Dragons.
Yeah,
yeah.
Poppy Dragons looks so good as
Yeah,
well.
it looks really fun.
Poppy Dragons look sick.
But no, like I think I agree with you. I think like what's it called? Like Elder Dragon is like skewed that like style of play way like.
And it needed it. I think it needed it.
Oh yeah, no, 100% needed it. But like I don't know. I'm interested to see like how much is it too much? Because I think it's very close to too much. But that's just
I think it's fine. I think the deck's still hard to lose to certain matchups. Like Vex, you still pretty favored.
no, because it's just like you get 3 for 1. And it's like you kill 3 of my units.
Just keep your not so fast. You know it's coming. Just keep your not so fast.
Oh yeah, dude. Just have 2 of the cards.
You're Vex. You're drawing 50 cards every turn. Like, relax. And then,
No.
like,
It's
Lilia,
it's more
you
like
just
10.
outspeed it.
Yeah,
Lilia
yeah.
just gets faster than it. LeBlanc might actually be able to outvalue it, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, because you like
Because,
kill,
oh no, you kill 3 of my Death Knell guys and a Karthus, I guess.
yeah,
Like,
you always kill
oh.
Karthus and then anything else. But yeah,
And yeah, I think it's fine.
yeah, I think it's fine too. But it's like I think
There's answers in the meta. That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say.
yeah,
But don't get me wrong. You need to prep for it. You need to bring in the hate.
yeah. I will say that
You need to bring switcheroos.
I think what's it called? I will say that I think Switchery doesn't save you by the way.
No, it doesn't.
Without a dragon.
It doesn't.
Yeah. But anyway, I think one thing that's interesting to me is something that like could make Unleashed a bit rough is that I think some of the prevalent decks, the popular decks, are looking very good, and I don't know if it's like they are actually going to be top tier contenders or like everyone hasn't just
Everyone's
experimented.
experimenting.
Yeah, but like
We
like
haven't stabilized the meta yet.
Yeah, like LeBlanc and like my big concerns are LeBlanc, Vex, Lilia potentially, and Diana. Those 4, like their play styles have like besides Lilia, the 3 Diana, LeBlanc, Vex are looking very similar in terms of like they're very slow, reactive, like reactive control decks.
But do you know what's funny? Looking at the tournament results from China within the last weekend, because this tournament's every weekend, it was a lot of Yi, a lot of Fiora, not a lot of LeBlancs, not a lot of Dianas. There was like they're still in top 8, but they were having less success.
Well, because I think like those decks specifically, like they just have such a big might advantage, and that those decks don't have infinite number of ways to kill units. I mean, the Diana.
Also, surprisingly, not a lot of Vexes. As well.
Yeah, Vex is not like I would say that's one thing that
Feels like Vex is a bad tournament deck. If people
yeah.
are prepping
Can I
for it.
really point out like everyone's complaint on Vex like is so unjustified. Like it's a fine deck. Like
Yeah, it's fine. It's just that it's kind of annoying to play against. That's the only problem with it.
yeah, but then like what's it called? Like Rebuke is that like anything else is like the same deal. Like Draven, I think Draven's a more cancerous.
Oh, Draven
matchup.
is way more annoying. God
Yeah.
forbid anyone who's just trying to play fun deck against Draven.
Yeah, God forbid you play like a fair fun deck. I think everyone, a lot of people, I will admit, are on the consensus that it's not as strong as everyone thinks it is. In my opinion, I don't think it's even top tier. Like it's not the best deck in the meta.
Yeah.
It's just like it has the potential to be, but I think it's not. It can't. It's not as annoying as certain other decks. You could just play. I could just play Hard Control and like Lux or something, and I would like.
It's kind of the same, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's cool. I think the.
But I'm
meta's
excited though.
looking fine.
I'm excited.
The meta's looking really.
I'm
cool.
super very excited.
I am cautious though for when the meta eventually stabilizes, because eventually it will. I think people are going to finally figure out what's good.
Yeah,
Finally
but
figure
true.
out
But
what
then
cards they
like,
need.
but then we have like an adjusting period, and I think that I don't know. I just
To be
think
fair, we are currently in the most exciting part of the set, where it's people still figuring out what's good, what's
still
bad.
brewing. Yeah, but I think another thing is that like the point of like it's so open, bro. Like the game is so open now
There's
with free
a million
sets.
things you can play.
There's so many unique variations. There's so many unique things. Obviously, some of the variations of playstyles are going to have a better version. Like, Hold is always going to be Vex now. Like, let's be honest. Like, Ari doesn't exist. Like, Leona was a whole deck, but doesn't really exist. Like, it has some cool tools.
Yeah, I saw one that was like top 16 or something.
Yeah, but Vex is probably like the most prevalent one anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, other than that, like, there's so many new tools that everyone's going to be trying and playing out. I think that... But only like with your point is like it's only bad when everyone realizes that one or two decks is the best deck. Like if it's the same as last game, like where it's like Draven or Irelia, it's kind of or like Origins. If it's
That's
like
why I'm cautious.
But I
It's
don't think
looking like it won't be that.
no, it's 100% not going to be like that. There's no way.
But yeah, if it does happen, then
There's no way because unlike Origins and Spiritforge now, there are so many ways and so many color combinations that can counteract or counteract stuff. And there's so many ways to like adjust your deck specifically for the matchup. I think nearly all decks can have the ability to do so. There are some that's like semi-skewed. Like if you're playing aggro and I'm playing Vex, it's like yeah, game over. But anyway, but like sorry. But I think that there's counterplay in every matchup that you play.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to playing in this
Oh yeah, no,
as well.
I'm so sad. Unleashed, like I think it did the cool thing of it was a flavorful set. Yeah. Like it was a set that was bye.
Just give me a second.
I think
Cut that out, Nathan.
but I think that Unleashed like went in the route of flavor versus mechanics, and I think that's the correct thing to do with a game like this. And like we saw like so many flavorful like decks, even if the decks that look like mechanics, they actually feel very like true to the characters, and they felt very true to the lore. Like Lilia being like the speedy deck. Like, even though it's nothing, like, it's like sprites. Yeah, her being the speed deck makes sense. Vex being the stun movement management deck.
Rengar being the ambush deck makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. LeBlanc's mechanic is so unique to anything
I think they went more LeBlanc the character, like the Black Rose, rather than LeBlanc the champion in League of Legends.
Yeah.
But I still like that.
But that's the point. I mean, that's the thing. That's interesting is that, like, they really chose the flavor side of the game. And I think that's a very smart thing to do. Mm-hmm. Because, like, power level is one thing, but I think in a game that's, like, that is still got a competitive scene, it's still always going to be fun if what you're playing, even if it's a high level, is thematic and flavorful. It makes more sense.
That reminded me of a cool podcast idea. Rate the flavor.
Rate the flavor.
Rate the thematic flavor of
Actually, guys,
legends.
we have a cooking episode coming out. But, yeah.
Let me know if you guys want to see that.
Cooking with recall to base.
Recall to the kitchen. Recall to the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I want to talk about Pyke for a second.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Which is the legend I'm gonna play. I've had so many thoughts on Pyke recently, and it's so like. I've been so down on it. I've been so up on it. I've been so excited, so depressed.
You know,
like, let me walk you through my fucking roadmap. So Unleashed gets revealed. The box art gets revealed. There's a Pyke in the box. I go, what the hell?
What the hell's going on?
Then they reveal the legends. Pyke is red purple. My excitement skyrockets. I'm like, yo, my favorite champion is gonna be top tier. Let's go. And then they reveal his ability as well, and I'm like, oh my god, boys, Pyke is gonna be the miracle! I hate that. But then Miracle gets bad. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
Okay, can't play that.
Can't play it. Can't be blinking Ezreals in cold shots, whatever. And then I start doing initial brews of Pike once some more cards are released. Oh, dude, the like mid-range Pike is looking really cool. I can play Ezreals and Fizzes and like do a lot of silly nonsense value stuff. But then I start looking at people's results on the deck and start seeing what people are like having quote unquote success with or brewing with. And it's just, oh, I'm gonna play Baron top end and there's like a lot of aggro units. I'm just gonna play Pike aggro. Played that. So inconsistent. I was so depressed, and it was like, ugh, this deck kind of chud sucks, but it sometimes wins, I guess. I don't know. And then I play a bit of both. I mix the both. I play some Fizzes in, I play some more removal, I play some, what's it called, Starcross to blink the Fizzes and whatever, and that's cool. Right now I'm playing a different build.
Bro's in Rant City, by the way.
I am ranting. God. Now I'm playing a different build, which is Draven Pike, which, guess what, Bozo, is just mid-range. You don't really care about the Pike ability. It's there sometimes, but you're just doing it to play. You're just playing mid-range.
Do you know what I think could, like, in my mind, like, round up your experience with this the Pike deck? I think it's pure. I think it comes down to the fact that no one figured out till recently what Pike's game plan or like relevancy looked like. Yeah, no one knew what it looked like. But I think I figured it out, or I heard it the other day, but I think it, like, with my arguments, I think it makes sense. I think Pike is the ultimate, like, what it looks like it's going to be is the battle of attrition deck.
Yeah.
Pike looks like the type of deck where it might not have explosive turn ones, it might not have explosive mid games, but it is able to stabilize in a way that gets rid of cards in your hand, where it hits units on the board. It does all of this all the time.
It's a value deck. It's the value card.
It's the value about
But the problem with that is that you're not better than LeBlanc at doing the exact same thing. LeBlanc just mogs you in that same game plan.
I don't think so.
I completely disagree.
No, because you have answers. No, you have answers for it. You have Starcross Rebuke.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying LeBlanc just hard beats you 100% of the time. I'm saying LeBlanc is the better deck for doing the attrition thing.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's like. I don't think. It'll be close, but I think LeBlanc needs too many pieces for it to be like the Battle of Attrition deck, whereas Pike is always the Battle of Attrition deck.
But the also thing that I realized about Pike, and the thing that I was like so stuck on before, which was why I wasn't having that much success, you can't just treat the legend ability as like flavor text for most of the game. I realized I was activating the Pike ability too much, and that's what some people realize is like, hey, activating Pike kind of puts you behind on tempo.
No way! Bouncing a unit to my hand makes my units worse.
Turns out you want to have units in play and not in hand.
Yeah.
Crazy concept. But then once I figured out, oh yeah, I can just like not activate it, and I can sometimes hold or sometimes just like try to like play hitting
like,
cards and stuff.
The way I view it, I feel like if you build your deck in a certain way, it feels like to me that if I was gonna move back to base, I could just bounce it to my hand for a goal.
Exactly, and like it's the kind of thing where you do it if you're blinking the sprite or mind splitters or green
actually it's a
spirit, whatever.
No, whatsoever. That is racism. We do not allow that in our podcast. So from now on we'll be saying spirit. Continue.
Moving on. It's just a really good late game, mid game tool.
Yeah.
And you don't activate it too early, and you should be fine. Another thing I realized is that the red purple shell is looking so good in Unleashed.
Yeah,
it is the Draven deck, the Pike.
Red purple just looks good.
So
red purple is just always gonna be good, bro.
But I'm saying specifically, we got tools like Jin. We got tools like the Pike Hook. I forget the name. Bone Skewer. Evelyn. Starcross, all these like value-y, like really interactive things. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And quickly mentioning it, I'm gonna probably try this at some point, but there's also like a pseudo miracle build of Pike where they're playing Detonate and Treasure thingy.
So I remember someone was trying that with Kai'Sa next set, which sounds really funny to me. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's okay.
I think just have a different mindset to Pike, bro, and you'll be fine.
So my game plan is, I was originally planning to do a big video on figuring out Pike, but then it turns out it's going to take a bit longer than a few weeks of Unleashed to figure out Pike. So I'm just going to try all the different versions of Pike. Once the set fully comes out, I'm going to bring it to locals and try it out a bunch of different ways. And yeah, that's hopefully.
Hopefully it goes well.
Hopefully we'll come up with something, and hopefully I'll top 8 again, and hopefully I'll win some skirmishes.
Hopefully I'm the champion.
Hopefully I'll go to Barcelona and win the whole thing.
Well, right. Well, I think that's a perfect time to wrap up this week's episode.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. And what's it called, for our ranting about Spirit Forged and Unleashed. What's it called? We actually have a fun episode coming up next week.
Yep.
We have our first ever surprise guest. Stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for listening, and catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.